Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, and I'm back again with another news story. Now, I had intended to bring you another video today, but this is so perfectly timed that I couldn't possibly avoid talking about it. You see, a month or so ago, I uploaded a video bashing on Gibson guitars and the fact that they had committed another marketing fail by posting pictures of guitars with what appeared to be broken headstocks in their promotional materials. Now, this was absolutely crazy to me. I just thought I'd do a quick little video to mention it, and that's now my most watched video, and it still continues to pick up a lot of views. So I had intended to do a video today with the title of Levi, Do You Hate Gibson Guitars? Because I got a lot of hate on that video for attacking Gibson, and that absolutely wasn't really the intended case. It was laughing at something so ridiculous. I'm a big fan of Gibson guitars. There's one on the wall behind me, or it's actually behind my head. I have more in my living room. I've owned many Gibsons over the years, and I'm actually still looking for the right Les Paul to add to my collection. I love Gibson guitars, but when something stupid happens, it makes sense to talk about it, right? So, guess what? Something stupid has happened. So let's talk about it. Right, so Gibson guitars, it seems, have filed a lawsuit against Funko, the company that makes those beautiful little Funko Pop figures. The things that have taken over every music shop in the UK. All you get in HMV these days is bloody Funko Pop figures. Oh, and game and, yeah, everywhere Funko Pop figures. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Funko Pop figures are adorable. I own several of them. They're all in a box somewhere. I don't have them out anymore, but yeah, I definitely like them. Gibson has decided to file a lawsuit against Funko for the use of Gibson's trademark designs without permission. Now, what you can see on screen currently is the Slash Funko Pop figure. Now, when you look at this particular image, you have to ask yourself, is that a Gibson that he's holding? Let's remember, Slash, probably most famous for Appetite for Destruction, an album on which he didn't play a Gibson Les Paul, he played a knockoff Gibson, it was a fake Gibson. So there's nothing to suggest that the product he's holding is actually a Gibson. We'll come on to that. But when you look at it, I mean, I'm looking very closely at it, and it looks like it has 4 strings. It also looks like it has a kill switch button instead of a pickup selector switch. The headstock certainly doesn't look like the Gibson headstock, and it doesn't include the Gibson logo, and it also seems to only include 2 knobs on it. So not really the traditional Gibson design that you would expect. Just looks like a guitar, right? Okay, so let's see what Funko or Gibson are alleging Funko have done. Obviously, part of working with musicians means using instruments that they use, and there are going to be several guitar players notable for using Gibson guitars. A great example would be Ace Frehley. Ace Frehley, well known for using a Les Paul, and he has a Funko Pop figure. He's using a guitar in it that's kind of a Les Paul, but is definitely not a Les Paul. Anyway, so when we look through the information that we're presented with, apparently Gibson have contacted Funko with the attempt to make a bit of money and to agree some sort of retroactive licensing agreement. The problem with something like that is when you feel that you're owed some sort of licensing agreement, you've got the company by the balls. You can essentially demand whatever price you want, because the alternative, if the license isn't agreed to, is a lawsuit. And I understand that Gibson do have to go through with something like this because you have to protect your trademarks. In the complaint, though, Gibson have written, and this is a quote, "The misuse of Gibson trademarks by Funko was intended to cause, has caused, and is likely to cause consumer confusion, mistake, or deception, including the misleading of consumers into mistakenly believing that the defendant's unauthorized products are made directly by Gibson, pursuant to Gibson's strict quality control standards." Or Gibson has authorised or licensed the use by Funko of the Gibson trademarks for those products. Now, obviously, there's so much wrong with something like that. First of all, I wouldn't think for 1 second that Gibson made these products. They're clearly made by Funko. That's obvious, right? I wouldn't, even if I did think Gibson had bought them, that wouldn't be a reason for me to purchase the product. Oh, well, I must purchase this Funko Pop figure because Gibson made it. Therefore, the quality is going to be exceptional. Spoilers, Gibson, you don't have the best reputation for quality control. Do you know who has a pretty good reputation for quality control? Funko. I mean, simple products, but generally speaking, don't get a lot of faulty Funko products. I'm pretty confident that when we look through the comment section of this video, we're probably going to see a few people talking about all of their issues that they've had with Gibson guitars. So where is the confusion? I don't like. So let's say you're in the market for a Gibson guitar. You want to buy yourself a nice Les Paul. Right, I'm going to buy myself a beautiful Les Paul. Or look at that Funko Pop figure of Slash. Well, he's got a Les Paul. I'll just buy that instead. That's a genuine Gibson. Is that what's being implied here? Because that would be stupid. Obviously, we all know that would be stupid. So why is Gibson kind of pushing such a ridiculous narrative? Where is the consumer confusion? In the Slash Funko Pop figure, Slash is wearing a hat. I'm not a Slash aficionado, but I'm sure real Slash aficionados will know who makes the hat that Slash wears. I don't look at that and go, well, this must be an official product released by that particular company. It's a damn hat. And trademarks, yes, they're very important. But I don't really see any infringement of any trademark here. Gibson may have a trademark on the shape of the Les Paul. It may have a trademark on the headstock design. I know that's how Fender works. Is what we have here an infringement of that, though? Is this a one-to-one replica of that shape? I mean, it looks like a caricature to me, in all honesty. I mean, last time I looked at Slash, it's been a while, I'll be honest. I'm looking forward to seeing him with Guns N' Roses next year. But last time I looked at Slash, his head wasn't that big in proportion to his body. It's almost like everything here has been skewed to make it that little bit more entertaining. Gibson, what are you doing? Why is your legal team worrying about such ridiculous things like this? No one is buying these products and taking away revenue from you. This isn't a missed opportunity for you. You know what a missed opportunity is? Spending a little bit more time on your quality control and making sure that you're releasing guitars that do your name proud. No, I don't hate Gibson. Of course I don't hate Gibson. I think it will be a terrible shame if Gibson end up going bankrupt. But it's a very real possibility in the way I'm seeing things. I know they have a lot of money problems, closing down factories left, right and centre, stopping the production of Sonar, right? I don't use Sonar, I use Studio One, but whatever their door was, they've stopped the production of that as well. Like, we're talking about a company that just seems to be hemorrhaging money left, right and centre. They're like the Konami of the guitar world. Who over there is running things? What is this shit show that is happening? Why is this happening to such a prestigious brand? And using a word like prestigious in association with Gibson feels wrong now, because you have such a bad reputation. To call you prestigious is ridiculous. Why does this make me so angry? Because I don't hate Gibson, because I love Gibson guitars and I want my children and their children to be able to buy Gibson guitars and not have to resort to guitars that are 40, 50, 60 years old, because guess what? People can't afford them. Have you ever considered, Gibson, why people want to buy your old guitars and not your new ones? Because you used to make better guitars than you make now by the looks of things. This is truly tragic, and I understand that you're not going to be able to stop this trademark issue. But when the press, when music outlets, when people like myself are talking about this in regards to you as a company, you have a problem. What you want people to be talking about is how excellent your guitars are this year. And I can't understand why no one over there understands that. What do you guys think, though? Of course, drop me a comment in that comments box below, because your input is of value. I'm also going to do a huge shout out to these guys over here. These are my Patreon supporters. They support me over on patreon.com. These guys all support me for $10 or more, and it helps me to keep making videos like this. I'm making a lot of videos, and yeah, being able to take time out from my transcribing work and my teaching is very useful. So thank you very much, guys. It means that I can keep spending money on good quality gear and improving everything in these videos. So if you would like to be like those awesome people, you can check me out on patreon.com. I'm going to move my head a bit by clicking this button up here. You can subscribe to my channel by clicking this button down here, and you'll see 2 more of my videos here and here somewhere. Hopefully you'll find some content that you enjoy. Thank you so much for all the support, guys, and I will see you for another video soon. Gibson, please fix your shit.